Okay, so in this video, we're going to go over how we can create our vendor and our collection pages. Now, the beauty of working with Shopify is that because we're leveraging Webflow, all of the tools and our skills that we know already and the way of working within Webflow are still relevant. And all we need to do is include a few little bits and bobs here and there in order to get it to work. Now, I've just knocked this up quickly, and yeah, don't judge by the design, but as you can see, it's all fully working and it's pulling in the various different information. If I add that to cart, you will see that it's getting everything is coming through. Now, as I said, because we are working within Webflow, it's still the same process as you normally would. So once you've gone and you've created your CMS collection pages, you would simply edit the various different templates. Now, for this particular example, I've just gone and created a very quick structure, and basically you would just do you, and you would design to your heart's content using your normal Webflow process. Okay, so we're going to start with the vendor page, and as you can see here, all I've done is created a very loose structure. So it's a section, global padding, section padding, and a container. There's nothing bound here, nothing secret, no magic. It's just purely just to give us a little bit of styling. Now, if we head on over to the documentation, click on the vendor page, you can see that the structure is pretty straightforward, but we do need to just make sure that we're including a few things. So things that we want is obviously a collection list, and we're going to be utilizing this particular card wrapper. And very importantly, we need to be binding it to the Shopify ID. Now, I'm going to walk you through that step by step, and we can go from there. So the first thing we're going to want for a vendor page is a heading. So we'll just add in a heading, and we'll just bind that to our vendor name so we can see what it is. I'm going to add in a spacer underneath this. Okay, and then we're going to add underneath here, we're going to add in a collection list. And as before, as I said, this is the same way you would normally work. So if you want to be referencing the products, which is what we want to do here, we want to be showing a whole list of products in here. We want to be just calling in the CMS product list. And I'm just going to make it into a column list. But again, you just style to taste, do what you want. Okay, and just move that underneath there. So now we roughly have our columns. Now what we will want to do is we want to filter that based on the vendor data. So head on over into our sections, go down to our filters, and we can say name is vendor, and we want the current vendor only. So hit that and save, and we can see we've sorted and filtered our data. So our next step is we want to basically include the product card. And so this, what we need to do is link that up to our Shopify data and make sure everything is working correctly. So the easiest way to do this is to open up our Shopify app, go into here, go into the pre-built components, and first things first, we need to get the product wrapper. So we'll just copy that and we'll plop that into our collection item, and then you can see here, don't forget to connect the ID. So we'll just collect the ID. So click on the Shopify product, and then in here you see data ID, and all we need to do is just get the Shopify ID from the product. All right, and we can delete that text. Okay, now what we need to do is get a product card. So we'll just type in here product card, and it comes up. We can copy that, and again, you guessed it, just dropping into there. Okay, so that's that. Now, as you can see, we've pretty much got everything here, but we still need to go through and just bind this all up as you would normally any other collection list item that you've done before. So we'll just go through choosing our image. We want a heading, so we'll go choose a heading. This is our brand name, so we'll go through here and we will choose our object, and we will just choose the name, and there we have it. And then the link, it will go to the default collection page. So now if we just save and publish that, and we open up our product, and we'll see it's hydrating, and we can see here we've got everything that we want, including the prices coming across, if it's in stock or out of stock. And if I add that to cart, we're getting the same thing that's happening. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the correct pricing for our products that's coming through. And when we look at the Webflow side of the things, you can see that the actual pricing is the same. And now what's actually happening is when the page loads, we're getting something called hydration. And what's happening is it's loading in the pricing directly from the API. But from an SEO point of view, there'll be like an absolute split second where maybe this particular price will display. So it's best practice just to kind of work through the areas that you still want to have the information. So we can choose here the price formatted, for example, and for the compare price, we will also choose compare price formatted. Other things you may want to look at as well is your alt text. So we can just put it, say for instance, the product name, and yeah. So if you add something, you do need to bind it up. Okay, so now let's move on to the collections page. And luckily enough, it's pretty much exactly the same. So for a quick process, all I'm going to do is just duplicate what we've already done, and I'm just going to unbind the bits that are related specifically to the vendors. So I'll just get rid of that, and everything else can pretty much come across, and we can just tweak that in a minute. So except for one thing where we just need to get rid of this current vendor. Okay, so now if I cut that, go over to our collections page, and in here we will just drop in the various different bits that we've already done, and I'll just take across the top navigation. And now, just like what we did with the actual products, we need to still filter this based on the collection type. So first things first, we'll just add in the collection name, so it gives us what it is, and then we'll go to our collection list wrapper, and again, like what we did, we will just filter this based on the collection's current. Okay, and that's it. So you can obviously see there's styling issue here, and you would solve that just like you would any other Webflow project. With that, that's the video. So I hope you found it useful. Pretty straightforward, but yeah, good luck. Catch you later. Bye.